Welcome to the No Life Gaming Show. Today, got some news for you. Last show was pretty short. Today's show is going to be pretty short. And every show after is going to be a lot shorter than our normal 2-3 hour scheduled programming. Basically because we want to simplify this process for us and also just kind of cut all the bullshit out. We don't want to talk about stories that aren't important, that aren't fun to talk about. And, we really just want to get to the good meat of the stuff. Before we begin, make sure you hit up our website and bookmark it, nolife.digital, as well as our social media, and give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter, nolifedigital. That way you can stay updated on all our shows, all our articles, podcasts, and more. And let's begin, dudes. What's up, dudes?
Yo, what up?
How's it going?
You guys have a good week? Good weekend? Good Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice.
I got a foot massage. Me and my mommy.
Okay.
You went and got mani pedis?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Nice. It was real nice.
Went and took my mom to a play. That was fun.
I should have done something like that. My mom's
or mani pedis.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll pay you to get a foot massage at the same time.
Yeah, it was super cheap, dude. It was $10 for fucking 10 minutes. Can't beat that. And then we went out to dinner. We had I had a full keto dinner, which is hard to do when you go to restaurants. It was kind of like searching at that menu, and you're like, okay, what how many carbs is in this sauce? But you can get it done. I had steak. I had grilled octopus, which I highly recommend. Just banging, dude. Any kind of seafood is so good, dude. Scallops.
Yeah. No, scallops. Yeah. Seafood and scallops, shrimp, all of that. Just douse it in butter. Oh, yeah.
These scallops were like perfectly seared. They had like these pickled almonds on them, which kind of gave them like some nutty fatness, but also like a little acidity. And they were just so banging. I could eat. That's the thing with scallops, though. I could eat 1,000 of them and still want more scallops.
Yeah, that is the problem with scallops.
Any shellfish, really. Scallops, oysters, clams, crab.
Not as big on clams. Oysters are okay, but scallops and crab and shrimp definitely.
Yeah, I could just go to town on that shit, man. It's so good.
I've definitely eaten pounds of it before.
Yeah.
Then thrown up. Then probably eaten more.
It's all worth it. It's worth it. What about you, Doobie? What'd you do?
Took my mom out to dinner. That was her choice, so she chose Friendlies.
Did you get a little friendly Sunday?
Of course. We always gotta get this. Our traditions like clam chowder, whatever meal, and then ice cream.
Clam chowder from Friendlies?
That's the tradition.
Interesting.
Okay. That's
a risky move.
For us of those who don't know what Friendlies is, can you please explain it? Because there's a lot of innuendos I could be making right now.
It's like a family friendly chain of like restaurants, but like you'll mostly see their ice cream in freezers.
Yeah, it's like an ice cream place, but that also sells kind of American dining food.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a I don't want to say it's a kid place, but like it's definitely very family oriented.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
You've never seen Friendlies before? Interesting.
No, there's no. That's just on the East Coast.
Yeah, I've only seen one. I've only seen one Friendlies, and that's in top.
Yeah, there used to be a lot more, but they definitely are a business that's kind of like on the downtrend, except for like their ice cream is what keeps them going.
I wouldn't be surprised if one day there are just no more Friendlies and just Friendlies ice cream.
Just the Friendlies ice cream brand that's still sold in the supermarket. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely haven't seen it, but there's
my grandma loves the place. So
have you seen Friendlies ice cream at all?
Nope.
Interesting. I wonder if they only sell that in the East Coast.
Could be.
I mean, we also like our ice creams. I don't know. Do you have Turkey Hill out there?
Nope.
See,
yeah, we have different ice creams.
Our cartons of ice cream. It's
what
like
about Blue Bunny?
Yeah,
is it Blue Bunny or Blue Bonnet?
Yeah, just like everyone has.
Everyone's got Blue Bunny. Everyone's got Briars. Stuff like that. But like the smaller stuff like that, no.
And that's funny. You call it smaller, but for us, it's like the 3 shelves of cartons of ice cream is in like my supermarket. Friendlies, then it's Turkey Hill, and then it's Briars. And then you have all the pints.
And then Edie's too. Edie's ice cream.
Yeah.
I don't even see that much Edie's anymore.
Around here, it's all just like your generics or like Quality Dairy.
Yeah,
But
and then
that's
Ben
also
and Jerry's. I just go straight to the Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and
dude.
Jerry's
like
and
we got all the
Talenti's. Oh
we
my
got all
god,
the
the
we got
gelato.
all those like traditionals, like pint-sized stuff. But I mean, the big things are the blue bunny or whatever.
You got the Halo top?
Friars, of course.
Yo,
I mean,
Halo top
like,
is actually
all,
good.
all of that, but like we don't have any friendlies or anything like that.
Ice cream is just so good, dude. Talenti is good too. You're right. Talenti's fucking banging.
Oh my god, that
Mint ice
stuff
cream.
is so. It's like like at least 1,000 calories for that pint.
Mint chocolate chip Talenti, dude, is my shit.
The raspberry cheesecake, I really like that one.
All right, you guys been playing anything new?
I
Anything
finished
cool?
God of War.
All right, don't tell me nothing about it. Moving on. Don't want to hear it.
It was good. It was good.
Was it all right? The ending I hear is not very climactic.
It's
Okay.
it's anticlimactic. The
But is
final
it
boss
satisfying?
doesn't feel like the final boss. It leaves you on like these like little hangers that you're just like, they're totally making a second one.
Damn it! I don't want that.
But
It's better than Far
it's
Cry.
cool. I talked to Fear about it like as soon as I finished, and he almost spoiled something that's post game for me, but he caught himself before he did, so I got to do that still.
Ah,
Okay. I finished all of the modes of Frostpunk and feel satisfied. Because I'll give you a hint. I was talking a lot about that last week. That game is hard as fuck.
mm-hmm.
Like
You
I'm
beat it
actually
already?
really yeah.
How long does it take?
There's only 3 modes. Yeah. The only reason why I beat it is because I'm on break. I think I have like 30 hours or
Oh,
more
wow.
in it. No, it took a while. It's hard, and it's only three games. You know what I mean? Like the total length of each of those games is probably like
10
an
hours?
hour.
Oh, okay.
No, so that's how long it took me to actually beat them all.
Right. So when you lose, you have to restart.
Yeah,
Ah, interesting. So it took you 10 hours to pretty much beat each mode, or did one mode take you like 20 hours?
it really was like it was the hurdle of the first mode, and kind of once you got a win, you kind of figured it out, so it made them easier. But
Right.
there's definitely like a good learning curve, and then especially if you crank the difficulty up, it's hard because there's also I did it the hardest way to beat it, which made it obviously harder because there's a lot of choices in that game where you can refuse to help people, and obviously that makes it a lot easier for you. You have to do a lot less if you don't let in a random 100 sick people into your city.
Right.
And you can choose not to, but I wanted to beat them all, choosing to get the most amount of people, which obviously makes it a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy. That's more what took so long, was like, all right, I finally just randomly got an extra 300 sick people who can't do anything.
Interesting. I do want to check the game out, but it seems like
It's good.
a lot of these kind of like world builders and RTS games is just there's so many different complexities to them, and sometimes I'm just like, I'm done with it. Once I get to that learning point where it's like, if it's not an interesting sort of thing to it, I kind of move on from it. But I've been dying to play like something like this because I do
No, that's
love
fair.
this type of games.
I will say, like, these ones are definite. None of them are sandbox. There's just like 3 different scenarios, but all of them, like, they all end around 30-ish days. Like it's not like a sandbox go forever. It's definitely like it has a story that you have to stick to, basically.
Yeah.
Which
That's
I think
kinda-
you might like a little bit better.
Yeah, I think I do. I think I will. So I might check this one out because I hear some people really do like it.
No, it's actually really, really good, especially for $30. Really pleasantly happy with it.
Right on, right on.
It's just really fucking hard.
All right. I haven't really been playing anything new lately. Weekend I was kind of just chilling all week. But hopefully, what new games are even coming out? I feel like all I know is Red Dead and Smash. Is there any games coming out in May? Or in
As far as big games, Friday is Hyrule Warriors on the Switch, but that's not really a big game. And tomorrow is the Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey remake on the 3DS that I'm excited for, but that's because I'm a weeb.
Oh, we have Detroit Become Human coming out on the 25th.
I was gonna say, yeah, Detroit's about the only one I can think of
Yeah.
like AAA kind of games.
I'm interested in it, but I want to wait and see like the
I'm
reviews and
super-
stuff for it first.
Dude, after watching that trailer, I'm just super interested in it.
No, I'm super interested in
yeah.
it. And I really like. It seems really fucking cool.
Yeah, I just want to know like
just
how long.
terrified. Like I don't know, dude. You just
Just like let's
you
be
should have
like,
named it
what was
Toronto. Name it Philadelphia. Name it any city other than fucking Detroit.
I'm just saying, like the order what was that damn game? The Order 1512 or whatever it was. That game
Order
was great.
1886.
Yeah, it turned out to be a 6-hour game.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why
I think Detroit's
it's
gonna be
great all at once. I want to see people's opinions.
well. The
before I
Order
spend my
also
money.
wasn't a $60 AAA game.
Yeah. And
No,
I
it
think
was a
that was more
freaking
like
glorified tech demo.
yeah, I was gonna say it looked like more like a tech demo than anything. That
But
was
at the same time, like this also feels like a tech demo slightly, because I keep seeing the same thing over and over.
I don't know. I think
that's-
it's got to be more than a tech demo, though. I think because like I'm just basing that also off of like the amount of marketing I've seen at conventions.
yeah.
They're marketing it a lot. So
Yeah, you don't
obviously because
market
they
a
have
tech
something.
demo that much. Like
And
you
plus
don't hire people to stand as fake robots for 20 hours of a fucking convention. You know.
I mean, if it's like a if there are a ton of different branches and like at least 12 big like events like that, then yeah, I could totally see it being worth the money.
I'm just
because
more
of how-
in that case. I'm more just worried you haven't seen a lot because it's not finished.
That
No,
too.
I think you've only seen a certain part 'cause just of the nature of the game. It's just so story based that
That's true.
anything's a
Yeah.
spoiler.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil much.
Might as well just
But
spoil the
I
stuff
have-
that's already spoiled, you
yeah.
know?
I just don't know what the overall narrative is. It just seems like here's that one scene. This is like that's the demo of what this can do, but I still have no idea what the general overall narrative is.
Yeah. It looks interesting, dude. That trailer alone just fucking got me interested. The Crew 2 is coming out in June, end of June. There's not too much coming out.
June is I think June is Mario Tennis Aces, which I'm actually excited for. That game actually looks fun.
Any kind of Switch game, though, I feel like if it's not fucking Smash, I really don't give two shits about it. I'm gonna get it if it's like a Mario kind of game. I'm gonna get it, but I don't care about I don't care about it. I care about this Smash though.
There's no big story-driven first-party AAA Nintendo titles for a while.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of small stuff. There's Octopath Traveler, which I'm excited for because I like RPGs in July, but like that's not first party, that's Square.
Yeah. It does look interesting though. All right, let's get into news. Eurogamer rumor that Retro is working on a Star Fox racing game that no one cares about. Dude, why is this Nintendo news site? It's like there's an article and then there's a one sentence as the article.
I know.
What
I
the
know.
fuck is this?
I know.
Yeah, I don't think anyone cares.
The idea behind it is that it's like Diddy Kong Racing meets F-Zero. And I mean, that seems like an interesting concept, but Star Fox is not a strong brand. I just don't think it'll sell.
Strongly disagree. Fuck your Mario. Star Fox is way better.
Star Fox Zero was a piece of garbage, and Star Fox 64 only is good because of nostalgia.
No, Star Fox 64 was better than Mario.
All Mario?
Strongly believe that all
Better
Mario.
than 64 Mario, I'll give you that.
I
All
don't know.
Mario.
I didn't like Star Fox 64 much at
Star
all.
Star Fox Adventures, that was a hot mess.
I just
That
don't like
was
Star
not
Fox.
But no, I
Star
think
Fox
Star
on
Fox
the
64
SNES
was better than all
bad.
Marios.
Are you gonna buy Star Fox Grand Prix?
No.
Didn't think so. Didn't think so.
I mean, I would. It's one of those things where it's like Mario Rabbids. I was super skeptical of Mario Rabbids, and it defied my expectations. If this is a thing, and it looks really good, maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, but are
But
you
right
gonna play
now, I
that
have no-
over
You're gonna
Mario Kart?
Come on. You have to try it. What other Switch game is going to be coming out that month?
I don't know. Who knows what month it's coming out? We'll know in E3.
Dude, just play Splatoon 2. That's all you need, man. Just rip on them fucking squids.
I have been
Would
playing.
you rather buy this or Arms 2?
Oh, I'd rather play Star Fox Grand Prix. Easy.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what is going to be your offerings that month.
Arms 2. You mean legs? If they don't call Arms 2 legs, I'm not. No.
You gotta strap the little fucking Joy-Cons on your feet.
Oh yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Platinum Games says they are making an action game that will flip the genre on its head. Japanese developer Platinum Games are known for making a range of excellent action titles. Making a new action title that will flip the established genre on its head. PG is working on a bunch of interest. I mean, this is what is this news source? This is the worst news source ever. Literally just stated the title 3 times in the article.
It's okay. It's like you took a tweet and then just copy and pasted.
That's pretty much what they do.
This is the worst.
And then don't credit.
I know.
I don't want any more MyNintendoNews.com stories on this fucking show.
Okay,
But,
the source is to a fucking forum post.
All I know is Platinum makes really good games, and if they are making an action game that's apparently going to flip the genre on its head, it would be them. They're really
okay. The forum post at least has a fucking clip of an actual conference, but the source is still a forum post.
Yeah, this source is terrible. But I want to know what do they mean by like? Doesn't every fucking game that comes out flip the genre on its head? You know what I mean? They all say that. Oh, well, we're gonna flip the genre on its head.
Say that, but I will say, if anyone could actually do that, I would think it would be Platinum.
Yeah, it would be Platinum
actually making something really fucking cool than most games.
I'm still mad. I'm still mad that Xbox game Platinum was working on got canceled, because I think Scalebound could have been a really cool game, because Platinum, they make some really good stuff.
No, Platinum's definitely, like, Platinum set the standard of like the last generation of like good.
They made Nier Automata.
Yeah. Have you played that?
No, there's that. Like, I mean, even just like the pure action fighting games like that, the Final Fantasy or Bayonetta, dude, that Final Fantasy game that was actually really good. Like, just a pure fighter action. They're top.
Have you guys played Nier Automata yet?
No.
Oh my god, you guys talking about Platinum
so many good
games?
things about it. It's
okay.
You guys talking about Platinum games? You gotta play Nier. It's so good.
Well, no, you see, I'm praising them because they make the best ones. I still just don't like that genre. So, but they make the best of that genre.
Nier is so good. It's so good. Highly suggest you guys play it. If you like Platinum games, you have to play Nier. It's so fucking fun, man.
I'll get around to it at a Steam sale.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get it cheap now. But damn, I highly recommend it.
We got a Steam sale coming up.
It was one of my fucking favorite games of last year, easily. That shit was so good. All right, moving on. Cliffy B retires. Cliff Blazinski steps away from games, says Boss Key Productions is no more. You don't mourn the loss of Cliff B? Cliffy Blazinski?
I mean, I'm going to mourn it just because I think for consistent content, Cliffy B has been our number one bro.
I'm just saying, I mean...
What are we going to do without Cliffy B, dude?
How long did Lawbreakers and Radical Heights last?
What is Radical Heights?
Radical Heights is still out. What are you talking about?
That game that you
still play it? Didn't everyone just go right back to Fortnite?
That Fortnite clone. I forgot about that.
Fortnite's still definitely better, but I mean,
I feel like more people play.
Jerry's the only one that defends Radical Heights in the whole gaming community.
Well, dude, no, I defend it because it's still really impressive for a 6-month beta. Like it's actually pretty impressive what they managed to put together in 6 months.
Well, the servers will remain.
I give them a lot of credit for what they were able to do in 6 months. It's like from a programming standpoint, it's pretty damn insane.
Well, you could play it for the near future. That's all we know. That's how long the servers will be up for. I wonder what the numbers are for that.
Oh, that kind of does suck because rip that game if he's actually just also destroying the entire studio.
Yeah, I don't see it lasting much longer. Here's his tweet. As of today, Boss Key Productions is effectively no more. 4 years, I set out to make a world-class video game studio and hide some of the best talent in the video game industry. They worked tirelessly to produce quality products, and we had our ups and downs. I like to think we had fun doing it. Lawbreakers was a great game that unfortunately failed to gain traction. In a last-ditch attempt, we scrambled to do our take on a huge battle royale genre with Radical Heights, which was well received. However, it was a little too late. As for myself, I'm going to take some time off and reflect. I need to focus on myself, family, as well as my Aussie Teddy, who's slowly fading from us. Video games will forever be a part of who I am, and I hope to make something new again someday. However, I need to withdraw and take this time. To those who have supported myself in the studio for these last years, thank you from the bottom of my heart and everyone who came to work for me. So it's kind of sad to see Cliffy B kind of go out in this way, kind of going out as like a failure, kind of. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's definitely loaded, so he doesn't have to really worry about. And he's successful in that sense, monetarily. But it would have been nice if Lawbreakers turned out to be like his fucking saving grace and sent him off on this high note.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's not leaving on a high note, but I also don't know if he's completely done. It just sounds like, okay, he's taking some time off.
Knowing him, he'll be back very soon.
And like, it's not
crazy idea of a genre.
Yeah, while Busky unfortunately didn't work out, that I also still don't think that erases his previous work too.
Yeah, agreed.
It still definitely has a good legacy.
He has one of the most famous legacies in gaming for sure. Now he was a polarizing figure, but in terms of like game devs and heads of gaming studios, he's just a huge name. This wouldn't be an article for a lot of other gaming heads, you know what I mean? This wouldn't be an article at all. This is interesting. So remember when GameStop last CEO sort of got sick, had to leave? GameStop was failing. Well, now this new GameStop CEO just quit after 3 months on the job. So
sounds like it's a franchise destined for glory.
So according to Polygon, GameStop today announced the resignation of CEO Michael K. Mahler, who left the company for personal reasons effective immediately. Mahler was CEO of GameStop for a surprisingly brief stint. He was appointed in the position in February. Daniel A. DiMatteo, executive chairman of the board of directors for GameStop, will serve as interim CEO. Reigns died in March, 1 month after Mahler was named his successor. GameStop did not disclose or expand upon the reasons why he resigned. Mahler was a 16-year veteran at GameStop, and his resignation is a shocker and disruptive, Wedbush securities analyst Michael Pachter said in a statement to the Wall Street Journal. In March, GameStop reported positive growth in sales for games and collectibles at its stores, partly driven by strong Nintendo Switch sales, but offered poor guidance for the upcoming year. The company expects sales to flat or down in 2018. So there you go. Interesting.
Brick and mortar stores they can't compete against Amazon and online shopping and stuff like that. They can't compete.
Doobie, join the future.
You gotta join the future, man. What are you gonna do?
Digital only.
What are you gonna do when GameStop shuts down? How are you gonna get your hard copies?
Amazon?
Oh, fuck. He's never gonna escape the hard copy. I think gaming companies now only produce one hard copy just for you. I think that's.
I'm not the only. I have a couple friends that are also physical people.
Okay, so we got 10 copies.
Yeah, 10 copies. But they're just like, I already own these games digitally, but with physical Switch purchases, like they're thinking about buying the game again just for the physical box.
Oh my god, I don't even understand even more. Is like physical Switch copies.
For me,
is the Switch just like every other thing where you just get a box with a piece of paper in it that's a download code?
You get a big box.
No, you get a cartridge. Big. It's a big box for a cartridge.
And then look, a little tiny SD card about that big sits in the middle of it, and then a little piece of paper. There you go. Here, let me highlight.
And that's where the cartridge goes. Is right there.
Okay, so it's an SD card.
And the problem with that is, if you lose that game, it is gone forever.
On the other hand, it's a cartridge like this size.
It's an SD card.
It's not hard to carry that around. Like you can just get a thing that carries a couple of them.
If you lose it, you lose that game.
Don't lose it then.
Oh, so easy to say until you have lost it.
I have never lost a game.
I highly, highly doubt that. I will fucking...
Not in the recent memory. As a kid, I mean, you're a kid.
You don't remember because you don't remember when you lose things. You lose things because you don't remember them.
I
Are you
have
really gonna
spaces for
remember
everything.
where your fucking Mario Rabbids SD card is? No.
It's in the box.
In 3 years, it's gonna be lost.
They all get put back into the box.
No, but I thought you carried them around in a case.
When I'm on the go and I don't lose the case.
See, that's another reason. You're on the go. You're carrying cases with you. What's going on, Doobie? Just download these fucking things on your fucking
the case
device.
is like impossible to just throw in your pocket.
Dude, before the end of No Life's career, we're going to get you to fucking get digital copies of everything. And you're going to be like, wow,
dude, I already had to go through the bullshit of like my PS4 doing God of War because I had to delete a bunch of stuff just to download the install.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when these systems maybe start carrying 2 terabytes of internal storage, maybe.
But you don't need to keep these. You don't need to keep every
You can
shitty
just
game on your
re-download
console.
it. And then
At
also
500 gigs.
you can do that. You can buy a $50 2 terabyte hard drive and put it in it.
I don't feel like going through the process of having to like redo the OS and all that crap. It's just more hassle than I want to do.
You're just justifying your weird
No, I don't
obsession
feel
with
like having to
hard copies.
reinstall my OS and all that other stuff on the PS4.
You just
don't
don't want to
have
have
to
to
pain in my
reinstall
ass.
another game that you're already going to have to download anyway when you put the disc in.
So annoying. I hate these file sizes and it's so annoying.
Well, there is one thing that is good about what you do because you're able to get at certain games before everyone else, which is interesting. But once GameStop goes down, you won't be able to do that anymore.
Nope. And so you just have to get lucky with the Amazon day early sometimes.
Dude, I can't wait for GameStop to shut down so you can finally join us in the future. That's going to be a glorious day.
Gonna get used to that Amazon Prime account.
I'm betting on GameStop to fail, dude. Let's go.
No, they're gonna fail. Like I give them
Hey.
maybe
Sports betting is going to be
10
legal
years?
now. We can set up an actual bet on this.
Let's do it.
Is this technically a sport?
It is now.
Close
It is
enough.
now. All right, moving on. Leak Xbox controller that's meant for accessibility. So this is really weird looking, kind of like
It's
pad
really
thing.
cool.
The controller includes 2 oversized A and B pads, a D-pad, and the usual Xbox button and navigation controls. The leaked image
It
shows what
looks-
a programmable A and B pads with a 3 LED light indicator that we first saw on the second generation Xbox One Elite controller leak. There are also a variety of inputs at the top that will presumably be used to connect other devices to map Xbox functions to. The controller, codenamed Project Z, also appears to include a headphone jack and USB port.
It looks like an oversized NES controller.
It does, or like
It's
yeah.
really weird. It's cool, but it's really weird.
I think this is really cool. I think anytime a company does something like this, that's really, really cool. When they look
Yeah,
at
agreed.
accessibility.
It's cool because there's a big lack in a lot of games and consoles
Yeah.
for accessibility.
Dude, I'll never forget. For some reason, this is burned into my memory. But when I was around like 7, 8 years old, we were playing Street Fighter at my cousin's house, and he had one of his family members come over, and her son came in, and he's playing with us. But he had like a fucked up hand, and the way he played was like he had to like really do this wonky shit with his hand to reach the entire controller. And I remember thinking like, you're actually pretty good at using that controller with one hand. Like he was beating me and shit. But, you know, it looked uncomfortable for him. And I remember being like, I wonder if they will ever make a controller for someone like him. So this stuff they need to do.
Yeah.
Do you remember last year's Game Awards where they had the the streamer of the year, which only Dr. Disrespect won, but there was a guy named Half Coordinated.
Oh, yeah.
He's a speedrunner that only has real use of one of his hands, and he speedruns with one hand.
Yeah.
A controller like this would be great for, people who have, medical disabilities where they only have use of one hand or something.
Yeah. It's
Not a
pretty
lot of
cool.
companies offer that.
No. Because they're like, what is the percentage of people that'll buy something like this and buy our product? So how can, what's the profit? Because they only give a shit about his profit.
Right. And I mean that's part of the issue too, because like the other thing with that is there are also other devices that will do that, especially for PC and stuff, but they're fucking expensive.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So that's why I'm happy to see it coming out on console again too, finally. because like that's there. It's for PC. There's a lot more options available.
Well, I
But
mean,
they really need
it's
that for the consoles too.
I was gonna say it's Xbox, so we know that it'll work not only with the system, but it should be able to work with your PC as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got all these ports on it, so you can program shit to it. So it's pretty interesting. I'm definitely interested to see how it actually works, and how big it is. Because I don't really get a good sense of scale for it. I mean, is it a giant controller or is it like a tiny thing? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to tell, but it's pretty cool. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate coming to Switch, portable Monster Hunter. Loco, our resident Monster Hunter, who's not here.
And he even said in the Discord that this is the thing that would make him buy a Switch.
Yeah.
Which I find really interesting.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it 1 second. He loves fucking Monster Hunter.
From what I understand,
the guy who's bought every single console based off of Monster
Hunter, yeah. From what I understand about it, it's gonna have the loading zones like the older games did. It's not gonna be like that kind of seamless open world like World is. But I mean, people really like Monster Hunter. They have a portable on a Switch. They're gonna be happy.
Yeah, I mean,
and
Loco
stop bitching about it.
He bought a Wii U to play for Monster Hunter.
For Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
He'll buy a Switch.
Yep. And then he'll put Stardew Valley on it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get this for Switch when it comes out. It looks pretty cool.
It'll be a great time killer when you're out on the go and you have maybe 20-30 minutes.
It looks better. Looks better than all the other Monster Hunters on like the 3DS and shit.
No, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it'll probably be 720p, 30 frames per second portable, but I mean, it's still better than the 3DS.
Yeah. Rage 2 is open world, being made by Just Cause and Mad Max developer. I remember playing Rage a long time ago for PS2.
It wouldn't be PS2. It would have been
Xbox?
PS3?
Really?
I can't remember. My buddy, my old college roommate when we were in college, I remember it was probably 2013.
PS3.
You also got to remember PS3.
He played it on PC.
We're 10 years old now.
Yes, PS3.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it was an okay game. I just remember seeing it and going, it looked interesting, but the world from what I remember looking at was it was the definition of empty world.
It was boring. It was a boring game. It was
boring. So
and it had fucking 7 discs. I remember that as well.
I mean, it was made by ID before they made Doom. So it was probably the worst game ID had made in a long time, and then they made Doom, which was really good. But I mean, this is doing the Just Cause and Mad Max people, and Rage obviously has that Mad Max inspiration. So I mean, if they make it where you blow shit up and shit's crazy, it'll probably be fine.
Hopefully you don't need. So you needed 3. It was 3 discs install on the PS3.
That was dumb.
Yeah, that's so stupid. But now you can just download it.
Oh,
which is
there
great.
went Jerry.
Now you just download it, which is great. All right, we're down to Jerry. Hopefully he comes back.
All right.
Final Fantasy VII Remake could be as far away as 2023. Could have been a joke by the development team. No one knows. No one will be shocked. Nobu, how do you say his name?
Nobu Uematsu.
And he's working on the music.
He is the Final Fantasy composer from Final Fantasy 1 up until Final Fantasy 10. 12, 13, 15 were all different people. He's kind of helped a little bit, but 7 is the one that everybody knows. So, and he did the music from 1 to 10.
Why are they saying it's going to take so long?
I don't know. Apparently, the person that did the translation says that it could have been just a long joke that they made. But this game keeps getting pushed back. They had exported development to CyberConnect for a bit, then took it back from them because they weren't happy with the work they were doing and had to do it all. And now Square is doing it all internally. There's rumors that they didn't like Cloud's design, so they're redoing his design. It's just this game, they announced it when they should not have announced it. And it's now clearly just on the back burner super hard at this point.
Yeah.
It's going to be the villain of hell.
How hard can it be to make a fucking Final Fantasy VII remake?
They wanted to make it episodic. Square also has this issue. I don't know if they still do, but they used to in the past, where they would never do a remake or a re-release unless it had 33% more content, which is why a lot of the times when you got a Final Fantasy 6 remake, like a port, or you got a Chrono Trigger port, there was always like an extra bonus dungeon. It was their way of saying we don't want to release the same thing without having additional content. So if they're still going by that rule and you're doing Final Fantasy 7 on today's hardware and you want to add 33% more content while also making it episodic, that's just a nightmare.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who. Are you like excited about all these Final Fantasy remakes and shit?
Honestly, not really.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy 7 remake, if it's real, it comes out, I'll buy it. But at this point, I don't even think about it. It's just, why worry? Like, why? It all started from a tech demo for the PS3, and people were like, "Oh my god, this is totally going to happen." And then fans got their hopes up, and then they finally announced it after like what felt like 10 years.
And Final Fantasy 7 was cool.
Way too long.
It was cool.
It's not my favorite,
but I don't see it as like this grand RPG, you know, grand standard RPG.
It was
Witcher 3.
To be fair, it was like, you know how Persona 5 for the PS4, like a few of us like had played Persona 3 and the earlier Personas, but like 5 was the big one that really broke off in the West.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 was that really big JRPG on the PlayStation that really put PlayStation on the map and put Final Fantasy on the map. Like, I love 6. I love the earlier games, but they were not
Nintendo
sellers like 7 was.
Yeah. Yeah, 7 was big, a big release. But I don't know. I don't know.
This whole remake thing is just, it just seems like it's just not a good idea.
Well, 2023, you got a long time to ponder about that bullshit.
On the PlayStation 6.
Yeah. All right, last thing, deep topic. What stops women from going into esports? Jerry is our resident esports guy, and I want to know, Jerry, why do you think there aren't as many women in esports? Because you said there's some. I didn't know there was any, but you said there's a few.
There's some. There's one on an Overwatch League. I think there's some in StarCraft.
There's a couple in the Smash Brothers scene. I know that.
I was gonna say, I think there's some in
Supergirl Kells in Smash 4 is probably one of the best known female players.
Do you think it's genetics? You think genetically
I would argue
inferior?
not genetics.
Genetically, they are inferior to men? Is that what you're saying, Doobie?
No, I would not believe that.
I think
do not put those words in my mouth.
Does play a minor role in it, but that's less male or female, more just like, if you're talking on at the pro esports level, you are talking about like a very minute percentage of the population that have that skill set.
Yeah, no, we were saying a little bit before the show, it's like there's such a high level that the difference between them is almost like splitting hairs. Like, they're just so high level. It's just by sheer number of the amount of men that play video games, it kind of makes sense that there's only a handful of women.
Yeah, social stigma, like stated for a long time, like, you know, girls don't play video games. That's a boy, like a kid thing and a boys thing.
And I mean, that has changed a lot now.
Yeah.
The problem with that is a lot of these who are pros, they have that skill set, but they've also been
years of experience.
20 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like why you're not gonna see like all of a sudden female players just start to be like up with the top players in Melee. Not because, you know, they're female, but because they're lacking probably the 10 to 14 years of playing time that these top players have.
And these video games are sort of new.
Yeah, I mean, like Counter-Strike's been out since 2000, and most of the pros, if they've been alive since 2000, they've probably been playing it since around there, because they all started when they were 6 years old and took their dad's computer or mom's computer and was like, I'm gonna play the Counter-Strikes.
Yeah,
that's why you see it in more of like the newer games that are coming out, like probably in a lot of the fighting games that are coming out. Definitely Smash 4 because it was a newer release. You know, you're not going to get them in these games that have had long communities built for like a decade.
Yeah. And I think it would be naive to think that there is this culture. I would think it would be naive to think that just the culture of gaming sort of allows women to just freely just sort of rank in whatever position it is. It's still a very machismo, testosterone driven sort of industry.
Oh no, yeah, the culture is definitely against them.
Yeah.
Like I think we can safely say that, but I also don't think the culture's stopping them.
Yeah.
It's definitely making it harder. And I don't think that's debatable.
Yeah.
I don't
definitely
think
makes it
that's
hard.
just like that just stops it from happening.
The only women in gaming that I know that get a lot of views and attention are titty Twitch streamers, and then you have like hosts of shows, you know, like gaming shows, and that's basically it. I don't really know if I don't follow esports too much, but I know some of the main people in it, and none of them are women.
There's been a lot of Hearthstone streamers who aren't titty streamers who were really good at it, and there were also Hearthstone pros.
Yeah,
Newer game.
They racking in like big numbers.
They were when Hearthstone was, they were. They're not so much anymore, just because Hearthstone itself doesn't really rack in as big of numbers.
Now, do you think there should be women's leagues in esports? Because that would mean it's genetics. If they did that, would mean it has to be a genetic.
Yeah, I don't.
Personally, I'm in the
see
camp
why.
that I don't think there should be. There is an argument for and against it, but personally, I think it actually hurts. I think it hurts the idea of equal competition more than it helps it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like something like MMA and boxing, you need women's leagues because there's a definitive genetic advantage that a stronger man would have over a stronger woman. It's just definitive. There's science. But something more like this, where it's a lot of more mental endurance,
hand-eye coordination,
and twitch reflexes. There's really not too much of a difference between a woman who can train up and a man who can train up. So I don't think that there should be women's leagues. But the reason why you probably will see them is because they want more women to participate. The problem with that is
that can be good though. I think there is like that's the other side of the argument, and why there is that argument is because that can definitely be a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just how it's also if it's done tastefully or not, and that's a problem some of those leagues sometimes have too.
Oh, also it's like if you have a women's league, you can't have them cross over. You know what I mean? They're always going to be locked into that women's league. You can't just be like, she's not in the women's, she's going to be in the pro, like the top pro league now. It's like you need to either have that where everyone can join or have a separate sort of league for women.
Do you think the toxic fan community drives women away?
Oh, I'm sure.
From playing?
Absolutely.
I'm sure. Yeah. Like that's what I was saying is like, I don't think that's debatable. That does exist to an extent. It's gotten better. But
like anytime you see like a esports and you're watching on Twitch and so you're watching an FGC and a girl player comes up and Twitch chat explodes. Is that a girl? Oh my God. Like you've never seen a human women like a female before in your life.
That's the fighting games community. They haven't.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have
so cringy.
I don't have high standards for the fighting games community.
I don't blame you. It's so cringy.
Well, it's also, it's just like I said, the culture of gaming is, I think it's more changing. It is a relatively new thing, and esports are even more new. And I do think it's changing. But until then, if you put a women's league in now, then you are forever saying that there's a difference between men and women gaming. So I don't think that they should do that. If you want to bring more women in, you know, I can see that, but there's other ways to do that. And it's just going to have to take time for it to kind of change.
Yeah, there's a lot more interested in it now than like when we were 6, you know what I mean?
There's more money too.
Yeah, it's not like MLG. There's so many more teams and sponsorships out there.
Well, there's more money, but there's also a lot more games that interest a lot more people. Like, I mean, when we were very young, it was you played guns or you played war. Yeah. And that's every game that was on the market.
Now you can play fighting games, shooting games, Pokemon competitively. You can play
card
games competitively.
Yeah, and I think it's a like I think when you see stuff like that what was that Gamergate thing kind of pop up, and you see a lot of this sort of driving agenda that some people kind of have, or you know, they kind of bring a chip on their shoulder because they feel like they've been oppressed in some way. I think that really hurts their chances of ever trying to get some type of equality going. You just got to let the times change. You know, the toxicity in gaming, I guarantee it'll go down. It'll get old, you know, it'll become old, and people won't want to engage in it. And
It'll get better.
That'll drive away.
There's steps to be taken. Gamergate was just such a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
On both sides, because like to an extent, there definitely was really great points to come out of that needed to be talked about and addressed. But also, since anything that you give that kind of notoriety to, where it involves a ton of children, a lot of bad actors like to get involved and make it into whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was definitely a clusterfuck, but you know, women in gaming is a topic that needs to be brought up because, you know, we see it, you know, we're very objective about it, and it's just, you know, it's toxic for a lot of women. And another big point too that why women might not be going into esports is because they can make so much more money by going into Twitch and just doing their own thing.
Well, yeah, that's true for a lot of people. I mean, like look at Shroud, dude.
Yeah.
Shroud was a really well, he wasn't a great Counter-Strike pro. He was really good. He just never hit his potential. But he was on a pretty good American team, had a pretty nice salary for the time. I mean, that was pennies to what he's made streaming.
Yeah.
Like literal pennies. And I mean, that's even competing in big tournaments, like $1 million tournaments. It's still just fucking change.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like, you know, I hate to say it, but if you're an attractive women gamer, you know, you could have all the intentions in the world, but it makes it pretty easy for you to become pretty successful streaming.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does, but that's also like this. I mean, that's kind of the world. If you're attractive, you kind of got an easier path.
No, yeah, for sure. But speaking just in gaming, it's even doubly true.
Yeah.
You know, we see how fast, like there's so many that pop up all the time on Twitch, and I've never fucking heard of them before. And they just garner all the views because they're nice to look at. They might be trash at the game, but that doesn't matter at that point. You know, they're still a gaming streamer. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting topic to bring up.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that it's gonna take time, because I do think a lot of it has just been. There's a lot more guys who've been basement dwellers for a lot longer, and I mean, I like whether you like it or not, that's basically what you gotta be to go pro in an esport.
Yeah, and it's more socially acceptable, I feel like, if you're a guy and you're a basement dweller than a girl who's a basement dweller. You know what I mean?
If you wanna go pro in an esport, you have to be gifted and then be like, all right, I'm gonna spend 15 years playing video games 10 hours a day.
And one video game. It's gotta be one. You gotta play one fucking video game all day, every fucking day for years. So yeah, that's it. That's our show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you head over to our website, nolife.digital. That way you can stay updated on everything and make sure you're getting the latest shows, the latest podcasts, the latest articles, reviews, whatnot. And also follow us over on No Life Digital, Instagram, Twitter, and our Twitch. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for the tech portion of the show, and then we'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.